Hey guys, I'm going to make a quick summary of the entire video before it even starts, just so I don't waste any of your time, and there's no stupid skits in here, just me talking about the specific situation. So in case you don't know, Dream was accused of cheating because he received too many ender pearls during the course of some of his speedruns, and essentially what I'd say throughout the entire video is that I was not able to prove whether he was guilty or innocent. And what you should do is wait for the official speedrunning Minecraft community and moderators to come up with their official evidence-based conclusion on whether or not Dream's speedruns were valid or invalid, and whether or not he was cheating or not cheating. Dream has said himself within the Discord that he will be coming out with a personal statement of his own as soon as they release their official statement. I will as well, just doing like analysis of their response. But in the end, it's just Shellguy and me. We have no input on this decision whatsoever. Anything we say, you can do whatever you want with, but in the end you should not take it as fact. I did make a test of my own to test it in Minecraft, to test his probabilities, and in the end I came up inconclusive with my data. It pretty much just proved that Minecraft's working. That's about all I could prove. I cannot prove if he was innocent or guilty. I talk a little bit about the process of how I made the test, and I also talk about some of the factors that go into the decision of the moderators, and some of the things I've heard by being in the speedrun Discord, and some of the possible aspects of his data or of Dream's run that may invalidate it or validate it. I also talk about some of the things that Shellguy didn't mention or failed to mention that may have been misleading to people who didn't properly understand his statement. But in the end, just wait for the moderators. Sorry if the video's bad. I'm kind of new to this video editing thing. But anyways, hopefully you learned something from my video. It's just me talking about everything I just mentioned just now. But yeah, if that's everything you need to know, then feel free to leave. So I'm gonna go now. Dream, I can't wait to hear your decision. I can't wait to hear the decision of the official mods, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video and you learned something at least. See you later. Dream, the Minecraft YouTuber / speedrunner, was accused of cheating in his recent 19-minute, 24-second random seed 1.16 Minecraft speedrun, where he is currently the 6th fastest in the entire world. And personally, I'm a bit skeptical. Wait, no, I'm a bit skeptical. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. Anyways, I like Dream. His manhunting series is very entertaining, and I'm not gonna go out of my way to say it's fake or not, because honestly, I don't care. It's really enjoyable to watch. But speedrunning Minecraft is an entirely different ballpark. In 1.16, the Minecraft update, it drastically changed how speedrunning performs in its Nether update. Specifically, the fact that you can give ingots, gold ingots, to piglins in return for ender pearls. In 1.15, Dream managed to get the world record temporarily before getting knocked down to 3rd place at the time of recording this video. But that goes to show that Dream definitely has a skill. The skill is there, meaning it's very possible for him to get a legitimate speedrun under 19 minutes. But, why is everyone saying he cheated? Here's what happened. I woke up today, I saw a video from a guy named Shellguy providing mathematical proof on the possible cheating that occurred in Dream's speedrun. His main point was that over the course of a majority of Dream's speedrunning stream on Twitch, he received a significant amount of ender pearls, way above the average amount expected through trading with piglins. And according to a basic statistical math operation, the chance of Dream receiving that amount of ender pearls that he did over the course of his stream was around 1 in 40 billion. So essentially, out of 263 individual piglin trades, or essentially 263 gold ingots, Dream received 41 ender pearls, which only has a 1 in 40 billion chance of occurring over that many trades. And it's pretty much safe to say that this chance is extremely improbable in this case. And you can almost say impossible, but for this case, let's just say improbable. The physical code of Minecraft says that the chance that you can receive an ender pearl is only 5%. So when nearly 15% of your trades are ender pearls at a quantity that high, then that is a significant statistical anomaly that pretty much states that Dream is cheating, whether it's intentional or not, and it's quite unfortunate. But come on, there has to be still some sliver of hope and doubt in the minds of people who enjoy Dream's content and enjoy watching Dream that says there is no way he cheated. But to ignore this valid evidence would be hypocritical as a human being, to to simply deny anything and everything you are told simply because you do not want to believe it. Which is why I want to see for myself. Do we have to stake Dream's credibility on a 1 in 40 billion chance? So here's how I'm going to do it. So in front of me, I have a piglin. And Minecraft states that for every 1 gold ingot that I give the piglin, I have a 4.73% chance, or a 5% chance just for simplicity's sake, of receiving 4 to 8 ender pearls. And fortunately, the quantity of ender pearls that we receive is completely irrelevant to the question at hand. We're simply looking at whether or not we receive an ender pearl in the first place, not how many. So I went ahead and made a trading cell for these piglins to where it's attached to a dispenser, and I can dispense the gold into it, and so I can automate the process. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one trading cell, and I'm going to duplicate it 262 times for a total of 263 individual trading cells. Meaning I can replicate at the push of a button how many piglin trades that Dream had over the course of his streams, which is 263. And on average, we should expect to get around 13 to 12 ender pearls per 263 instances. What I'm trying to look for here is I'm trying to see if there's any way or any possible outlier, anything that can give me some indication that there is a possibility that I can get 41 ender pearls in one 263 instance. So I'm going to take a break really quick, and I'm going to go and build the 262 trade stalls, and I'll come back with my progress. Okay, so really quickly, as I was editing the video and hearing myself talk about the building the test, it's kind of boring, so I'm just going to play a time lapse of me doing it in the background. If you want more details on it, it's going to be in the description. But for now, I'm just going to hop right into my analysis of the entire situation, just so we can get it over with. Okay, so here's going to be my analysis and summary of the entire situation and, everything that you pretty much need to know. So at the time of making this, a majority of the Minecraft Java speedrunner moderators and verifiers are doing everything they can to analyze the entire situation, to look at all the evidence, and just use as little bias as possible to come up with a proper conclusion. There are a few outcomes from their decision. The primary one being that Dream simply cheated somehow. He went into the code, he probably adjusted the values of the ender pearl bartering from 5% to something higher than 5%, and that would be cheating. And keep in mind, the only thing that's really happened was that Dream was shown to have exceptional amount of ender pearl trades over the course of his streams, such that the chance of him receiving that quantity of trades was nearly 1 in a billion, or 1 in 40 billion, sorry. So there has been a decent amount of contention within the math-oriented members of the Discord speedrunning community that have disagreed with how the value 1 in 40 billion was determined. And unfortunately, I won't be going into the exact details of how to calculate that value and the various methods, because it's a bit more in depth than what I would like to go into, and it's not something I'm completely familiar with, so I could easily get something wrong. It's okay to say that this video is kind of pointless without me discussing these values, but I don't really care. So I did do some tests to test the value for myself. So I went into my custom test that I designed that I talked about earlier, and I did around 200 total runs, and each run consists of 263 piglin trades, so that's around 52,000 piglin trades. And I did do some tests earlier with a previous version, but it wasn't as accurate, so that was 200 runs with the most accurate version I could produce, and on average I got around 12 piglins wanting to trade for ender pearls. So again, I only counted the amount of piglins that returned an ender pearl. I did not count the amount of ender pearls you received, because over the course of Dream streams, he got around 41 ender pearls. 41 trades from piglins over 263 instances. And then the highest value I managed to get was 25, meaning if over 263 trades, Dream got a value such as 25, 27, 22, or even 30, it would be a whole lot more believable than the 41 that he got. So despite it being farther from the average value of 25 to 12, it's actually 3.5 standard deviations away from the average, which is a lot closer than the 8 standard deviations that Dream got. And in case you don't know what a standard deviation is, here's a quick summary. So they're pretty much a way of measuring the variation within a data set, and your much more common values, such as 10, 11, 12, 13, are going to be within one standard deviation from the mean, or the average, which is 12, or 13. And the more standard deviations away from the mean you are can represent a false value, an outlier, or some other factor. And Dream's 41 per run is definitely an extreme outlier, and it could possibly be a false value. That's what we're trying to prove. So again, there are a lot more implications as to what the standard deviation represents. This is a very simple explanation. And again, from my in-game test, from testing 52,000 Piglin trades, I could not find any anomalies in the data. I tried to look for any bugs and that I can replicate to see if I can get a 41 per run, and I just could not do it. Once I release this video, I will be doing more tests to see if I do ever achieve that 41 pearl video. I'll make a whole update on that. But anyways, so my data was inclusive, but there are a lot smarter people who are actually doing real data and real tests and looking at it to actually prove it. So how are they doing it? Like I said, there's a team of speedrun moderators working to figure everything out. You know, they're professionals at what they do. They thoroughly understand statistics and Minecraft, and they have a better chance of coming to a better conclusion than me or Shellguy. You know, after being in the speedrun Discord for a while, I did learn some things of what they're trying to look for. And you know, some of them are just obvious or hidden bugs that could have caused the high amount of Ender Pearl returns, or Ender Pearl barter trades that Dream got. And from my knowledge, they have not found any. They did find one, but it's kind of irrelevant. And there was one moderator known as April who was pretty helpful in helping me out. And you know, I did offer my test. She is a moderator, and I did offer my test to them and said, "Hey, here you go. If you want to use it." They said, "You know, it's not terribly useful, but it's nice to know that the numbers in the games work and that there's nothing obvious that we could have discovered." So what else could they go on if they can't just go on pure numbers, or just, you know, what are they trying to do? Well, there is a concept known as bias within the sampling, or how you retrieve the data. Meaning that the only data that we know about Dream's pearl, like true pearl value within the game, is from his streams. Meaning the only runs that we have of his value is from his streams. If you were to take into account all of his runs, outside and inside of his streams, you would then retrieve the true value of what Dream's like pearl barter value is, whether it's 5% or something lower. And this could be proved if we had more data. Unfortunately, Dream and, you know, most other people don't record all other offline runs. But there is the possibility that if we took all of his runs, including his online and offline, then we could get a value around the 5% that was expected. But by taking the streams and only confining our data to his streams, we are possibly introducing a bias which isolates the true probability of being able to get a 5% pearl value. So there are numerous ways to look at this concept, and statistically it's unlikely that this is what's occurred, but I have reason to believe that it may be mentioned in the final verdict of the moderators. So another concept that I heard a lot of talk about within the Discord was the concept of binomial and negative binomial distributions. So again, I won't be going too in depth about them, but Shellguy used a binomial distribution, which a lot of people, or a reasonable amount of people, said that is the wrong way of calculating the value due to how the data was retrieved, when in fact it should have been a negative binomial distribution. From my understanding, the difference is how you collect the data according to successes and failures. And you know, I can't confirm which value is meant to be used, but it's very safe to say that the outcome of one or the other does not favor Dream in any way more than, you know, the other. The decision will be the same regardless of the distribution. So here is some information on the screen from a Discord member. I'm going to put his username in the on the screen because it's kind of hard to pronounce, but it explicitly states the difference between the two values that you get from a negative binomial and a binomial distribution. And as you can see, they're both still super low chances. So no matter which distribution you use, it's still going to have the same result. But it is something that's important to note for the sake of, you know, accuracy and due diligence. It's not something that you just ignore, but in the end, it's not going to affect the final decision. So those are some of the main things that I've learned about what people are trying to look for. And of course, there's other things. You know, it gets pretty statistic heavy based on like how you retrieve the data, how you calculate the data, and how you perceive the data. So in the end, okay, you just want to know, yes or no, is Dream a cheater? So should Dream be considered a cheater? Well, not exactly. So whether or not Dream is a cheater, or whether his run is valid, cannot be officially determined by me or Shellguy. That decision lies in the hands of the Minecraft speedrun verification team, And just as an example, the chances of getting an 11i ender portal are 1 in 100 billion. And if someone submitted a run with an 11i portal, it would flat out be rejected whether they found it or not. Of course, it's not impossible, but it would just be rejected because the chances are just way too absurd. Something similar might happen here. So, the most responsible thing, in the end, will be to take anything me or Shellguy say, and simply wait for the team to release their decision, which will hopefully be soon. And I know Dream has said that once they release their decision, he's going to make a video in response himself, so you can get to hear his perspective once they release their decision. So, again, in the end, all the information provided, you can use however you like. That's your right. But you should not take it as a fact, nor should you tell other people it's a fact. Nor should you use it in any way to develop a permanent opinion on Dream until an official statement is released. And, I know that's pretty much the end of my opinion. It's a bit of a crazy situation. Dream, I wish you the best. Either way, I'm just going to watch his videos anyways, because, who cares? Just, everyone makes mistakes. Hannah Montana says it. I say it. It's whatever. But, I don't know. Just don't go around hating people, especially in the Discord. There's a lot of hate going on in the Discord. Please don't hate people unnecessarily, and don't. It's a whole mess. So, just relax, you guys. Just wait for something to come out. Something will be said eventually. You just gotta wait for it. Be patient. So, see you guys later.